All right. Apple Loops. So I've launched Logic. Obviously, I've edited the software instrument, which you're used to hearing. So up on the upper right-hand corner, you have a loop browser icon. If you click on that, we'll open up Apple Loops. If you own your own copy of Logic, you may want to go over to Logic Pro X, pull down, and go to download. Where is it? Sound library. Download all available sounds. I've already done that, so they're already downloaded. If you're looking at this and you see some grayed out ones, which I don't think I'm going to find this time, basically what that's telling you is it hasn't been downloaded, and there's an icon right next to it that you can download it. So up at the top you have something called loop packs, and these are, you can buy loop packs for GarageBand. You can buy them for Logic as well. So if you can see, I have purchased quite a few loop packs, and you may want to, if you bought some new loop packs, re-index all loops. I'm not going to do that now, but that's one. So if I just want to look at just the hip-hop loop tracks, I can just click on this and it will show me all the hip-hop loop tracks. Hip-hop's huge, right? Etc., etc. So you get the idea with that. So I'm going to go back to all genres, and you can see I have quite a few in here. Okay, so you can also view them by descriptors. So you can use instruments. So this will give you instruments. So if you want to look at all drums, piano, etc., etc. Anytime you do this, it'll show all your drums, and if you want to click out of it and reset it, just click the X right here. You can view them by genre. You can view them by descriptors. And you can view them by favorites. Now, if you want to add a loop to a favorite, so this is grayed out because I don't have any, apparently I don't have any favorites. You can just, so say I just love this loop right here. I can just click on the favorite right there, and notice that it'll now add it to my favorite. It will show the tempo that it's associated with. So 84, and the reason I give you this, it's kind of a ballpark. If you get too far away from the tempo, down to 40 or up to 160, you're going to start to get audio artifacts. You can hear it, but you know, if you, chances are, if you put this in a tempo of 100, it might be fine. You just have to use your ears as a guide. To let's see. So I talked about that. So to audition a loop, you can also, before I go on and talk about this, you can also go to scale. So this will give you major, minor. If you're working in a major key, you can show all the major loops, minor loops. If you're looking at percussion, obviously it doesn't matter. Key signature. You can go to any key signature here that's available to search for loops in a specific time signature. I'm sorry, not key signature, time signature. Yeah, you can also, up here you have two view options. You should be familiar with the pull down view. There's also this view that will show the moods, instruments, genres, favorites. You can mess around with the up top up here. There's just several ways you can audition loops. So if you want to hear a loop, all you have to do is click on it. And you have two types of different loops here. You have blue loops, which are audio loops, which you cannot edit. And you have green loops. Well, I mean, you can edit them to a degree. So here's a green loop, which is a MIDI loop, which you can edit. And I'm going to talk more about that. To listen to a loop, you just drag it right in. And there's my loop. Now, if I double click on this, I'll open up the edit window, and you can see that I have MIDI notes in here. So I can change this loop by dragging it. I'll get in way more into editing in the piano roll. So now I've actually changed this loop. Made it worse, but you get the idea. And I'll talk more about editing in depth later. So that's the difference between green loops and blue loops. You can edit them. So when you drag a loop into GarageBand, or into Logic, It may ask you to match a tempo. Let's find a tempo-based loop here. By the way, I just did Command Z to undo. That's always a good. Let's go to instrument. Let's go to drums. And let's go, this should. So let's drag that in there. By the way, I just created tracks, so to delete a track, just hit delete, click on it, and it will delete it. Anytime you drag a loop over it, will create a new track. Let's drag this in. So now I'm getting a tempo. And if you'll notice, this tempo is at 152, and my tempo that I have is at 140, so it won't sound that bad. So just go import. And now it changes my tempo up here to 152, and I'll talk about changing tempo, etc. But that's just a quick and easy way. So now I have that. I've dragged a loop in. I've got it working with it. Now if you want to extend a loop, if you hold your mouse to the upper right-hand corner, it will be a circular arrow, and you can just drag and extend this loop however many measures you want to extend it. And I'm going to be talking way more about working with loops. But for right now, just get a feel for the browser and get a feel for the difference between audio loops and MIDI loops. And just look at the loop menu.